All right, so you talk about wanting your cake and eating it too, because in this email here, and if you got something going on in your life and you want to help, and you want help from the Bert Show fam, go ahead, hit us up at thebertshow.com. So she breaks up with her fiance so she can start dating something that's familiar to her, which is her ex-husband. Shocker, that doesn't work out. So now she wants the ex-fiancé back.
Dear Bert Show, I really enjoy your show and thought I'd reach out for advice. I was recently engaged to a wonderful man, and my ex-husband and I met up to discuss the divorce, and he expressed how much he missed me. We have been on and off again for 25 years. I had been having issues with the man I was engaged to in regards to his son and how he parents. So I thought, well, maybe if I leave him and go back to my ex this time, things will work out. Here I am, 6 months later, and it's the same old story with my ex-husband, and even my kids hate the situation. I really miss the man I was engaged to, but I know he'd never take me back. He has no clue about my ex-husband and I being together again, and I've purchased a car with my ex-husband. Should I just end it with my ex-husband and be alone? Or should I try to tell the man I was engaged to? I know he would never forgive me if he knew the truth, and I don't blame him. Maybe I need to just be alone. What do you guys think I should do? By the way, there's a definite abuse cycle as far as emotional abuse from my ex-husband. He doesn't work. I work 60 hours a week and take care of everyone. He does not live with me. Aside from not being on the same page with his parenting style, my ex-fiancé was perfect and treated me like a queen. What should I do? Signed, I should have known better.
Come on now.
What should I do?
Come on now.
One clearly sucks. The other one's real great.
But she's thinking that the fiance won't take her back, right? That's why this is even a question.
It won't, well, and especially if he knows she left him to go back to her ex-husband.
So don't say that.
Maybe I need to just be alone. Yeah, I think maybe you do need to just be alone for a bit and figure out what you need outside of these two men.
Maybe when you hear other people debating it, it makes more sense to you. Like, oh my God, did I really send that in? Of course. Well, you don't have two options here. The ex-husband, I mean, that's not working out at all. So the real question is here, do I try to win the ex-fiance back because the husband is not an option? Or do I just blow it all up and start all over again alone with somebody else? Which, yes, that's what I would suggest also.
Well, maybe she didn't give the ex-husband enough time because it's only been 25 years.
Yeah.
They've been on and off again.
Yeah.
It's hard to make decisions.
What a quitter.
Sometimes you need a...
How about committing here,
I really think he's going to figure it out at 30. We should give him some more time.
I mean, this really might be one of those things where after you write it, you hear people talking about it, you're like, oh, God, that was obvious.
I think so.
I mean, come on.
It reminds me of that story when the guy goes in and he's like, doctor, it hurts when I do this. And the doctor's like, so don't do that.
Right.
And that's what I feel like right now. She's like, what should I do? I'm like, quit doing that.
It's hard, though.
Technically, I feel like we all probably agree she should be alone, but what do you really have to lose in trying to get the ex back, the guy you were engaged to? Because if he says no, you're going to be alone anyway, so you might as well try.
The ex-fiancé, correct?
Ex-fiancé, right.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to clarify what
That's not ex here.
Not the 25-year one.
Yeah, be very specific here.
You were saying it's hard. What's hard?
Because of what she's been through, and it's a little more complicated than that, than just walking away, because there's issues here, obviously. So yes, I hope hearing this, she realizes she needs to walk away from the ex-husband because what he's put her through, and she deserves better than that. And I hope she finally realizes she deserves better than that. When it comes to the ex-fiance, Mo actually has a point. I mean, we're saying be alone, and if he chooses not to take you back, well, then there's your perfect option to be alone for a while.
Yeah, and you were in an abuse cycle, emotional abuse with your ex-husband. Like when you're in it, it is even more difficult to walk away.
Yes.
You already kind of got away.
You
like
did.
Both feet are out the door. Do not go back in that house. That is a scary house. That is not a fun house. What's the opposite of a fun house?
A sad house.
It's a haunted house.
It's a sad, haunted house. Emotionally haunted house. This is like such a great example of how there are so many of us, and I've done this too, that would rather be in a relationship unhappy than be by yourself happy.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That you might as well, so long as I'm with somebody, because I was a relationship hopper too, man, too insecure really to be by myself for a while. But at the end of the day, looking back at it, man, why would I be in relationships where I weren't happy just for the sake of being in them?
Back then, I understand. There's so much good stuff on TV now. Like,
There really is.
why? Why do you have to be with anybody ever?
Alone
You know
time is
what we'll
great.
do for you? We will put together a list of shows for you to binge that will get you through a whole entire year of being by yourself.
The Bert Show.